If there is destruction, there must be creation. But who gave this world and us life? And what did they take in return? And how did these creators create something from nothing? Creation myths aren't just stories about beginnings. They're about control. These ancient tales take us back to our origins, explain who we are, where we come from, and most importantly, who owns us. All over the world, different cultures imagined how life began. Welcome to Vortex Mythology, where we are uncovering the creator gods who not only made you, but also control your fate. If you enjoy this journey with us through these ancient revelations, please do like this video and subscribe for more. This really helps the channel grow, and we deeply appreciate it. According to the Shabaka stone, from silence, reality was born, not by hands, but by a single word. In ancient Egypt, Ptah created the world through divine speech. Unlike other gods, who molded clay or fought cosmic battles, Ptah simply thought, spoke, and reality followed. When he uttered a word, rivers carved themselves into existence. When he named the mountains, they rose from nothing. Ptah's creation reveals the ultimate power of language. His words didn't just paint a picture of reality, they brought it to life. This isn't communication, it's cosmic lawmaking. Every syllable becomes physical law. Every phrase writes the rules of existence. Once Ptah spoke creation into existence, it became unchangeable law. The world runs on his first words, meaning our destiny is shaped by the very language of creation. We live in his words, following the rules set by the gods. Every law of nature, every constant, is a reminder of his first divine command. What if the very world we know is built on his voice? But words alone couldn't hold the weight of creation forever. Sometimes, the ultimate act of love requires the ultimate sacrifice. As chronicled in the Sanwu Liji, a titan stirs from the cosmic egg, and with one final breath, becomes everything. For 18,000 years, Pangu held the sky and earth apart with his bare hands. When exhaustion took over him, his death became the ultimate sacrifice. His breath became the wind that fills our lungs. His blood flows like every river, and his bones formed the mountains we climb. Our entire world is built from a god's corpse. Every step we take, every breath we draw, is literally part of Pangu's divine body. The rain is his tears, the thunder his voice echoing through our time. Our lives, shaped by Pangu's sacrifice, are tied to cycles of life, death, and rebirth. His story teaches that all creation demands sacrifice, and that cycle continues in every life, every generation. We are both the inheritors and the continuation of his cosmic sacrifice. While Pangu gave his body to create our world, across the spiritual realm, another god was dreaming entire universes into existence. From the lotus of eternity, worlds bloom and fade like morning dreams. Brahma creates universes the way we create dreams, effortlessly, endlessly, and temporarily. Each time he closes his eyes, entire realities unfold. When he wakes, they dissolve back into nothing, only to be dreamed again. But here's the twist. This isn't a one-time event that happened in the past. It's happening right now. Our entire reality exists only as long as Brahma stays asleep. Our fate isn't about finding permanence. It's about embracing change. If we're living in Brahma's dream, then rebirth isn't just possible. It's inevitable. When this dream ends, we'll appear in the next one. Death isn't final, because dreams always begin again. Our destiny is to cycle through infinite cosmic dreams, appearing and disappearing across eternity. But not all creation stories begin with gentle dreams or willing sacrifice. Sometimes the world is born from the darkest betrayal. Blood spills across the void, and from betrayal, the world takes shape. Ymir was the first giant, ancient and innocent. But Odin and his brothers saw opportunity in his massive form. They murdered him without warning, carving up his body to build reality. His flesh became the earth, his bones the mountains, his skull the sky that watches over us. His brain became the clouds, his blood the seas that rage with his final suffering. Our world was born from the ultimate betrayal. The gods didn't just create, they committed the first murder to do it. Every foundation stone is stained with innocent blood. Since the world was built on violence and betrayal, these forces echo through all human history. Every war, every conflict, every struggle for power traces back to this original act of divine violence. We inherit both the beauty and the brutality of creation. If one act of violence could birth a world, imagine what two gods locked in eternal conflict could create. Two gods, eternal enemies, building worlds just to watch them burn. Where destruction and creation meet, we find Tezcatlipoca and Quetzalcoatl. These Aztec gods created not one world, but 5. Each one destroyed in catastrophic cycles. The first world was devoured by jaguars, the second torn apart by hurricanes, the third consumed by fire. We live in the 5th world, knowing it too will end. Each destruction wasn't failure, but preparation for something greater. These gods teach us that endings are beginnings in disguise. We are living in a temporary world, the fifth attempt at creation. Our fate is already written. This world will end, and something new will take its place. The only question is when, and whether we'll be ready for what comes next. Yet even in the midst of destruction, love still finds a way to create, though it comes at a devastating price. A spear stirs the ocean, and islands emerge, but love and death go hand in hand. It is a divine couple that shaped Japan by dipping a sacred spear into the sea. But the greatest creation, the fire god, killed one, Izanami, in childbirth. Izanagi, her husband, embarks on a desperate journey to retrieve her from the underworld. But he fails, and from his grief, the sun, moon, and storms were born. Love created the world, but loss shaped its character. Creation and death are inseparable. The myth shows that our fate is bound to both creation and destruction. We're born from love, but loss shapes us. Every beginning contains its own ending, and every ending births something new. Love may have shaped the islands, but in the vast landscapes of Australia, creation came with its own moral compass. A serpent's body twists through the earth, carving both landscape and law. The rainbow serpent didn't just create the physical world, it created the moral one. As it moved across the land, it shaped rivers and mountains, while also creating paths that linked the earth to spiritual law. The land itself became a living set of rules. The rainbow serpent shows that geography is morality, that the landscape itself teaches us right from wrong. We're not just living on the land, we're living inside the law. Our fate depends on respecting the serpent's sacred paths, or facing the consequences of breaking cosmic rules. The earth itself holds us accountable. While the rainbow serpent carved laws into the landscape, halfway across the Pacific, another act of divine rebellion was about to split the world apart. When love suffocates the world, only betrayal can set it free. Tane Mahuta committed the ultimate act of rebellion. His parents, Earth and Sky, were locked in eternal embrace, keeping the world in darkness. So he placed his shoulders against the sky and pushed with all his might, separating them forever and bringing light to the world. His act of defiance became the foundation of all growth and life. Sometimes, creation requires breaking the existing order. Revolution isn't destruction, it's transformation. Our fate is shaped by the courage to challenge the status quo. Like Tane, we must sometimes break apart what seems natural to create space for growth and light. Progress requires the courage to push against the crushing weight of tradition. This pattern of divine rebellion echoes across cultures. In ancient Greece, another family drama was about to reshape the cosmic order. A mother's love births the stars, but her heartbreak births revolution. Gaia, the earth, and Uranus, the sky, were the first divine couple. But when Uranus imprisoned their children, the Titans, Gaia orchestrated the ultimate betrayal. She gave her son, Cronus, a sickle and helped him castrate his father, starting the cycle of divine revolution. From that spilled blood, the Furies were born, eternal agents of justice and revenge. Even creation myths begin with family dysfunction and violent power struggles. The gods' world wasn't made in peace, but through rebellion against tyranny. Our fate is shaped by the eternal cycle of revolution. Every generation must overthrow the old order to create space for the new. After all, change comes through conflict and progress through pain. But perhaps the most humbling creation story comes from Central Africa, where the universe began not with grand design or cosmic rebellion, but with something far more human. From cosmic indigestion, the universe spills forth. Mbombo, the giant god, didn't plan creation. He was just feeling sick. In his overwhelming discomfort, he vomited up the sun, moon, stars, animals, and finally, humans. Creation didn't come from divine intention, but from cosmic indigestion. The universe began with a stomachache, not a grand design. Sometimes, the greatest changes aren't planned. They erupt from chaos, discomfort, and when we least expect them. Accident becomes destiny. Randomness finds its purpose. Our fate isn't necessarily planned or meaningful. We might just be the accidental result of cosmic discomfort. But that randomness doesn't make us less important. It makes us uniquely precious. We are most probably a beautiful accident. These gods didn't just make the world, they decided the rules we live by. Creation was never neutral. It was mythic control. From Ptah's unchangeable words to Pangu's sacrifice, these stories reveal that creation always comes at a cost. These gods shaped us, and everything we were allowed to become. Which god's twisted creation fascinated you most? Tell us in the comments. Like the video and hit subscribe with the bell icon for more mythic revelations. Until next time, ask yourself, who is really in control?